Hello London South Art Hubbers. It is the end of another week and we are fast approaching the end of term. It's with great excitement therefore that I say we've got our creative art sharing coming up next Wednesday the 13th of December, and that's from 2:45 when year 5 and 6 will be playing some pieces they've been working on, both songs and instrumental pieces with Mr. Nathan. Your work will be displayed all around the walls in the dinner hall. So if you are a parent, a family member who wants to come along to that, that's from 2:45 on Wednesday the 13th of December. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of some of the works that you will see and give you a taster of what to expect. There will be no art homework video per se this week, for the reason that I'm getting ready, working with my year 5s and 6s to get all of their creations displayed for you to see. I do encourage you, however, to go back to the London South Art Hub website and have a look through videos from the start of the website's journey that you might have missed, and pick one that appeals to you and have a go at that. You will also be receiving, if you haven't received already, your own London South Art Hub sticker, and that is for you to stick in the front of your planner, because some people come up to me and say they can't remember exactly the website address to type in. Do remember that there is a link in your weekly email that goes out to your parents and carers, but if you don't manage to get that email up, you can always go directly to the website. So look forward to that rather large sticker coming near your planner soon. Without further ado, in year 5 we have been learning about William Morris, and the year 5s over 6 weeks did some incredibly detailed observational sketches of fruits and vegetables, seasonal to autumn, and then worked on developing repeat pattern prints like this by Evelyn, working in gorgeous dual colours, contrasting colours. That was a block printing technique. Year 5 have also just visited William Morris Gallery in Walthamstow, when they created more prints thinking about inside-outside shapes, positive, negative spaces. And you can take a look at the highlights of that on our school Instagram page. Year 6 then have been focusing this term on war art, and specifically the work of Henry Tonks and Henry Moore. Same name, but very different styles. Henry Tonks is a very sort of sensitive, realistic painter, and he focused on the invisible soldiers, and that was soldiers who were often quite devastatingly wounded facially in battles, and went through, for the time, very innovative plastic surgeries, working with London-based doctors. Tonks was interested in celebrating and showing the less glamorous side to war, the less maybe heroic aspects of war, and he wanted to show the boredom, the frustration, and capture that on the soldiers' faces. And so year 6ers were thinking about how they might present, express less than positive emotions, because we are always experiencing a great mix of emotions. Almanac here is very sensitively presented himself in a watercolour study, where he's feeling calm but quite pensive and thinking about his future. Year 6, of course, a very important time when we're thinking about year 7 and what's to come and transition to secondary school. Ramsey has gone for a slightly more abstract approach here. She's showing the mixture, the kind of sometimes the brokenness that we can feel when we can't quite piece together how we feel. We're sometimes a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, which you can see etched out in her face, and then this flooding of colour to show the real bubbling of feelings around. And the children at this point were turning to Picasso's Weeping Woman, and I've got two fantastic interpretations of this by Ida number 1. Look at that wax resist tear that's just dripped down through the oil pastel. Lovely use of soluble graphite. And Doretti, who's combined, if I don't know if you can spot up here, some photo montage, also using graphite, which is like a really, really thick soft pencil that dissolves in water. And she's brought herself out beyond the frame of the face into the background, swirling and whirling. The children then looked at Henry Moore. Now, you can't really move in London's parks for spotting a Henry Moore sculpture, but Henry Moore was also famous for his underground sketches, and this was what he observed during the Blitz, early 1940s, when people took shelter in London's deep tunnels, stairwells, and often very uncomfortable squish cramp conditions. They looked at his seated woman sketch, and in different ways we have Haroun here, seated one with a baby, and Doretti again, a very sensitive chalk study showing the big mouth of the tunnel there in the background. Can you spot that vanishing point? Mahfoud using a mixture here of Indian ink and chalk pastels, that little zing of yellow and orange, just flickering light, lifting the figure momentarily out of the darkness. The children then innovated on these by making their own scratch art. So that involved, as Lara has done here, covering the base of the page first of all in wax crayon, and then drawing with oil pastels, black oil pastels, the looming bodies, reaching out, seeking connection, togetherness, as Haroun's are doing. Or as Hezekiah is presenting, slightly more intimidatingly, staring at us, the viewer. Notice how the children, once they'd applied the thick layer of oil pastel, were then able to use sticks to scratch away to reveal the textures, some detail of the bodies. Haroun's got his gaping hearts you see there in each figure, connoting the emptiness of how they feel at this point. And Lexine's family unit here, all very confused at this point. Understandable given the situation they've been thrown into, literally. And then finally, you will see some of your work blown up large into large posters to really celebrate the time and effort that's gone into them, including this by Anastasia, which is just so haunting. And a real pleasure to behold the effort that's gone into each and every one of these. I am so proud of you all, year 5 and 6. And these will be up on display in our dinner hall for many, many weeks to come. So if you don't manage to get along on the 13th of December, 2:45, don't worry. You can hopefully pop in at some later date to see what this showcase looks like when all celebrated together. Stay tuned next week when we will be having a look at Barbara Hepworth, Dame Barbara Hepworth, and I'll be encouraging you to do some sculpting using soap. See you all next week.